Welcome back to the Ant-Man channel on this Friday, the 25th of January 2013. Most of the news today, like if you saw my last video, you know is about a lot of the focus, I think, is toward Christians today. There are so many diversions when it comes to the race wars that are going on in this country. The rich, the poor, the blacks, the whites, the Muslims, the Christians, the gays, the Jews, whatever you want to call yourself. I mean, whatever you want to label yourself or let others label you as. Whatever, man. But what I have to say about that is that when you really look at the thing here is that Christians, real Christians, they do not just come from one race. They're not just white people, or they're not just, black people. They're everybody. Anybody can convert to be a Christian if God opens your eyes. That is how it happens. It is by the will of God it is by the grace of God that you open your eyes. Because if you're blind and you don't see what's past your nose, you need to start questioning yourself. Am I doing something wrong? Am I making God angry at me? Whatever it is, because the real truth is God's not angry at you. You can't do anything to make God that angry at you anyway. He looks at you with a lot of favor. The thing you have to do is have a good opinion about God, because the thing about God is everyone thinks he's mad and wants to judge everyone. But the thing is that he's actually he's good. The word good comes from him. I'm not a good person because I am just a person. Like, good is what God is. Only God is good. But I become good because I then become a vessel for him. I let him lead me. I let the Holy Spirit move me. And that is an act of selflessness. You got to act selflessly. A lot of being a Christian is acting out of selflessness. You are not worried about people making fun of you like I always get. I'm crazy. I know, like, everyone thinks I'm crazy. Everyone thinks I'm a joke and that I'm weak. But, in reality, I train mixed martial arts. I'm very mentally, I don't let people push me around mentally. I could tell when someone's trying to, manipulate me or dominate me or intimidate me. It's very obvious to me. These are gifts. The discerning of spirits is a gift. If you can discern whether someone's good or bad, or if they have a good or bad spirit on them, then that is a spirit of discernment. A lot of people cannot discern for themselves what is good or bad. That's why people worship Nicki Minaj and Lady Gaga and Kanye West, is because they think that they're good people because they're on the television and they look so glamorous and they're shining and they sing and all this, and all those things are nice, but they represent evil in my opinion, and they represent the golden calf in my opinion. But anyways, you guys out there, you Christians out there, I really encourage you guys to pray for one another, because we are the ones that are awake in this battle. We are the ones who's going to be protecting our families and our friends and everyone around us, because we're the only ones who know what's going on. We're the only ones who have the enlightenment to understand any of this ridiculous tyranny going on in this country, and it's coming down quick. Why? Because in the words of one of the establishment members themselves, you never let a crisis go to waste. They're cashing in on the Sandy Hook shooting. They're cashing in on it. They want your guns. This all works into their socialist plan. Because if you give them their guns, now they're bringing in China, they're bringing in the socialists to make money here in your country. They're already setting the stage to have pretty much the New World Order put in place nowadays. We're one of the biggest police states in the world now. We are known for that. Why do you think everyone hates Americans? Why do you think when other countries talk about Americans, they think of us as stupid and fat? Why do you think? Because we let the corporations take over our country. We didn't write checks and balances, but let our corporations take control of the government. And now it's all about interests. It's all about their interests and not ours. So let me just read to you this article before I start ranting. American pastor jailed in Iran now missing. Officials promise transfer for better medical care. for better medical care. This is by Michael Carl. Michael Carl is a veteran journalist with overseas military experience and experience as a political consultant. He also has 2 master's degrees, is a bivocational pastor, and lives with his family in the Northeast United States. And he writes, they're dropping a hammer, you guys. I mean, this is ridiculous. A report coming from Iran today says the location of imprisoned American pastor Saeed Abedini is unknown. American Center for Law and Justice spokesman Gene Kapp said Iranian officials claimed they were moving the pastor to provide him better medical care. The judge in the case told Pastor Saeed's attorney that he would transfer Pastor Saeed to another ward at the Avon prison to receive better medical care. Kapp said, the pastor's family and attorney have not been able to confirm his transfer or current whereabouts, according to Kapp. The ACLJ said in a statement that the judge giving the order to move Abedini is a hanging judge. It's important to note this is one of Iran's hanging judges who told family members that Pastor Saeed would be released on bail. The fact is the family's repeated efforts to secure Pastor Saeed's bail have been flatly rejected by Iranian officials. And Judge Per Abbasi, his own right-hand man, threatened a family friend to stop assisting Pastor Saeed's family, the statement said. I mean, they're coming after you guys. They're coming after us Christians. Everyone is. I mean, even the dummies don't even like you. That's why it's okay to make fun of Christians. It's so okay to condemn Christians and call them all kinds of bad names all day. But if you say anything bad about someone gay or Muslim, it becomes so politically correct. It becomes such an issue, and then you become the #1 enemy in the country, The development follows repeated denials of bail for the pastor. Earlier this week, Abedini was denied the opportunity to appear in court for the second day of his hearing. The pastor is accused of attempting to undermine the Iranian government. The people need to continue to press the White House and the State Department for action, Kapp said. In an earlier interview with WND, ACLJ President Jordan Sekulow agreed. Clearly, the most meaningful and important engagement must come from the State Department, Secretary of State Clinton, and President Obama, and so far they have failed to condemn Iran and demand Pastor Saeed's immediate and unconditional release, Sekulow said. Sekulow is pointing out the facts. Why isn't Obama and Clinton and all these people in the Obama administration not doing anything about it? Because they don't like you. They don't like you Christians. Obama is a Muslim. He does not like Christians. And if you believe he's a Christian, you are stupid beyond belief, man. I mean, ridiculous. You can lie and have a smile on your face and look like there's a bunch of bluebirds singing around you and everyone's singing Kumbaya and holding hands, but you can be totally lying. It doesn't mean that you're... Just because the scene looks nice and they're rolling out the red carpet for you doesn't mean that you tell the truth. The guy's never told the truth in his entire... in neither one of his terms so far. I mean, he swore on the Bible to uphold the Constitution, and he's already going against it. I hope you pay attention to just the little important but obvious facts, my friend. Sekulow told WND, despite the single statement by the State Department official, the U.S. government is nearly MIA on Abedini's case. The U.S. government has failed to fully engage this case and utilize its tremendous diplomatic influence to pressure Iran to release this U.S. citizen. We're grateful that the National Security Council has urged Iran to release Pastor Saeed immediately, Sekulow said. I mean, if they let Ambassador Stevens die in Benghazi, do you think that they give a flying, about him? No, man, they don't. Especially because he's a Christian. We don't want Christians in this country, my friend. We want dumbed-down, gangbanger-cultured morons to run around on the street and just spit on each other all day. That's what we want here in America. Because then we could go into slavery. Sekulow explained Iran is accusing the pastor of trying to undermine the government through leading a collective gathering of fellow believers in house churches. The charge stems from activities 13 years ago, he said. American Pastor Saeed is on trial in Iran because of his Christian faith. It's that simple, Sekulow said. WND reported earlier this month that Abedini was being beaten and threatened daily. Ebedini was sent to Even prison shortly after his return to Iran to continue his work with Iranian orphans. The Revolutionary Guard found out about Ebedini's arrival and met him at a bus stop. You guys, as a fellow Christian, you guys need to pray for him, because as we are in this body, so, as he is, you know what I mean? What's that verse? I can't remember right now. But there's a verse in the Bible that tells you that people who are in prison for the sake of believing in Jesus Christ, those people, you should really pray for them and see them as yourself, because that's what, we are in bondage here in America, but it's not physical bondage. It is mental and spiritual bondage. You are not allowed to do whatever you want here anymore. You're not allowed to even be, you're not allowed to be stupid and make your own decisions anymore, even that, because there are authoritarian control freaks everywhere that want to lecture you about everything. Everyone is a genius nowadays. Everyone is so smart, and I'm being sarcastic. Everyone is so intellectual of their own understanding that they think that they could just spout words of just knowledge and it makes sense. No, a lot of times people sound stupid when they try to sound smart. Why? Because their wisdom doesn't come from God. It comes from this world. It comes from knowledge of this world, of being bound to the flesh and being partakers of the flesh. But if you get your wisdom from God, then you know what's going on. You don't buy into this rhetoric. You don't buy into the unconstitutional fiat bills that are passed in Congress and in the Senate. Now is the time to get aggressive, you guys. Now is the time to say we've had enough. Now is the time to start speaking, singing, yelling from the rooftops. Now is the time, guys, because you guys need to start exercising that. You guys have a tremendous power within you guys, but you've been conditioned for the last couple of decades that you're nothing because you watch TV, because people on the TV are way better than you. You're inadequate. You can never be good at anything. You've been getting force-fed this for decades. So now is the time to say enough, man. Enough. I'm not gonna buy this baloney anymore.